Hello, my name is Chris Klinakis. I'm the offensive coordinator and offensive line coach here at the University of Nevada. In today's DVD, we're going to explore our counter gap play. This is our power play in the pistol offense that still gives us the physicality to run the football downhill. We will diagram and go over blocking assignments for every member and also the ball handling and the running back and quarterback footwork. We're going to talk about now in the pistol offense the run game and all the types of run games that the pistol offense gives you. The advantage of being in the pistol offense is you're able to run all the concepts of the spread offense. The zone read option, zone read bubble, and the shovel option. And we're able to do that as we saw in our 2 and our 3-man zone series. Also though, by being in the pistol, you're still able to run downhill without having to be under center. So you do get the advantages of the shotgun, of having the quarterback back there. You're able to help him in the passing game, but you do not give away your north-south runs. You're able to run your counter gap, your power, your outside zone, your horn, your stretch, and your inside zone. Now we're going to focus on the counter gap family, which is a big run for us in the pistol. Running back in the pistol is able to get the ball deeper. Allows him to set blocks. This increases his vision. He is able to get separation from the lineman, able to see what is happening in front of him and bring the blocks to the blockers. By having that running back 3 yards behind the quarterback, he is hidden when he comes out of his run track. By decreasing the vision of the linebacker to the back, it is hard for the linebacker to get a key on what track he is running, whether it be inside zone, outside zone, or a counter gap scheme, which is hard on the linebacker's keys. Teams cannot set their fronts based on an offset back. Disadvantage of the shotgun, back is offset, teams will set their fronts to the running strengths or what they feel are your strengths. The pistol hides this. We see that in our zone read series. Able to use all formations in the run game. 1, 2 tight end wing sets or no tight ends without limiting your play selection. We're going to talk about the counter gap out of the pistol. This is our power play. But by being at shotgun depth, we are still able to run north-south. As we said, one of the biggest advantages of the pistol is you do not lose your north-south run game, and still you have your quarterback back in a shotgun philosophy. This is a power play. It follows a lot of the same principles of the counter tray. The difference is we are not trapping the edge, we are blocking the edge. So we are not having a short edge for a trapping guard. One of the hard things of a counter tray to that quick side is that short edge and not giving us a bubble or a gap. We are able to keep the gap or the bubbles we see when we get to the cut up here by doing this. We are able to borrow blockers. This is a big philosophy of our gap plays. We want to outnumber the defense at the point of attack. We can create double teams through our rules. We want to get double teams to get movement on the front. This is a physical power play. We can decide who to double. If we've got a great player in there that we don't single block through our blocking scheme, we can put a double on him and single block other players. The misdirection, the running back is hidden. It is great for play action pass, for PAP right there. The back is hidden, as we talked about earlier, another great advantage of the pistol, as you cannot see this. This is a misdirection play. We'll start with the counter gap here, and we will go through the rules of the counter gap. Our weak or quick side tackle, these are his rules: down, base, and high drive. So if there is something inside of him, he is down. That is the first rule. There's not a lot of verbiage in our rules. If there's nothing inside of him and this guy, the technique is head up, he will use base technique. What I mean by base is he will step inside foot first, because our worst fear is this guy penetrating in the B gap. So we are stepping to prevent that. If he steps out, we'll be late to it, but we are still keeping the gap wide. We do not want to allow penetration here. If he penetrates down, the tackle, by stepping inside, will be able to make a wall with him there. If his technique is outside, we will use high drive, which will be our zone footwork, 6 by 2 inch step, vertical, and we're trying to open a gap right here. That is the weak or quick side tackle. The quick side guard, also, he has down, base, slam. There is something inside of him, he is coming down on it. Right there. Okay, whether it be an inside shade or all the way down to a nose. By a slam right here, we are now going to create a double team. As we talked earlier, our quick side tackles rule is down. Our quick side guard, with technique outside of him, he will step play side foot. So he would step right foot, key term there, and he will deliver same forearm, same foot. To keep his shoulders square, his term is eyes and second step in the hole. So his left foot will step vertically to bring him back to base. He was responsible for any run through. No run through, we will try to knock these defensive tackles' hips into the A gap to where our tackle can escape to the backside backer. If not, we will keep pushing until we get to that backside backer. Slam technique. If other reason for eyes and second step in the hole vertically is if this tackle is on movement, our guard here will be able to assume it and tackle will be able to escape. Those are his rules right there. Center. His very, very first rule is back. He has number 1 backside. So if he's got a shade backside, he will attack the backside hip right there. Okay? If he's got a 3 backside with a nose, now all rules come into effect. Tackle's down, that's his first rule. Quick guard is down, that's his first rule. Center is back. And we usually just make a back call to let everybody know to come backside. When we work back to a 3 technique, we are stepping far hip, tacking near hip, because we cannot allow penetration. So he will step flatter right on that look right there to a 3, not to allow penetration. If we got a true nose, we will use slam technique just like we talked about with the quick guard. He will step to the play side foot with the play side foot. If the slant comes this way, the guard will hit it on the down track, and center will put eyes and second step in the hole to the backside backer. If the movement goes away from the play side, eyes and second step are in the hole by the center, and now it turns into a shade on the back block, and the guard will come up to the next level. Those are our center's rules right there. Strong guard is your puller. He will pull for first daylight. Okay, and I will show an example right here. Our guard, he will rock step. He will open at a 45-degree plane. With his second step, he will flatten right there. So his third step, he can start turning up vertical. It's very important that he doesn't lose ground on his second step and turn his shoulders away from the play. We want him to be flat right there, so if I do have to turn up on my third step, it gets my shoulder square. His key rule we tell him is hug the rumps. Wherever that wall's getting built, wherever that down block is, you got to be tight to those rumps. So as we tell that guard, he's going to hug the rumps. Wherever that wall's getting built, he's coming right off those rumps. As he comes vertical off there, if the backer's scraping hard and outside, he will kick out with his inside forearm, more or less trapping that backer, enabling the back to go downhill. If the backer stays inside, he will log it, opening up what we call the second window for the back. We do have a time at schemes with a true 4-2 front where we will base our tackle or pace our guard and pull our tackle when we want to create a double team. When we know we have a 6-man box and we're going to use 7 because this is a 2-puller play, we will have 2 pullers on this counter gap where we're running counter with 2 pullers to attack the gap, where we got 7 on 6 and we want a double team, a good play side tackle here where we can pull our tackle. But 95% of the time, that strong guard's the puller. Strong tackle is sealing the B to C gap. So he has any run through on that gap from B to C. There's no B and there's a C gap defender, he will hinge. B gap run through, he would take that. No B gap run through, but a C gap player by alignment, he would seal back to it. If he has no B gap run through and there's no C gap player by alignment, we let him then climb to the next level and sometimes become an extra blocker. This also helps our center on his back block. We call this a rake technique, where he will step near foot and throw near forearm, still keeping his shoulders square, and he will rake through the defender, help that center on the back block, and then climb. If he's able to get anything on that track at the second level, then that's an added bonus with the 6-man box. He also, as we talked earlier, can pull for first daylight. If in the scheme that week he is the puller, then he is the one hugging the rumps. Tight end now has seal of the C to D gap. So if there's a C gap defender, he will cut it off. If there's a C and a D, and the tackle's uncovered, no B gap defender, then we would step hinge that out right there. C to D, B to C, and C to D. They will seal the backside right there on the counter gap. The T, or the wing, this is the second puller on a 6-man box. Once again, you have 7 blockers with this scheme. So if we have a 6-man box, we are pulling this defender, or this wing tight end right here. If there is a 7th defender in the box, we have to trade him over to kick out. And our quarterback controls this. If there's 7 in the box and there's an outside technique on the guard, well, we've got to kick out this end, then the guard becomes the second puller. In essence, we are trapping with this motion, but unlike counter trap where the first kick out's here, we were just talking about one of the advantages of this play is there's no short edge. When this slam double has to occur, we do not want this end to run down in this A gap and wad things up. So we will trade to where we can kick him out, get on him immediately, and make him, if he comes underneath us, part of the wall. Very important on this technique, it is a B gap launch point. Coach, I will stress that again. This is a B gap launch point. It cannot be any further because you could get roll armed underneath and create a jam right here and not put him in the wall. If he is going to the right, it is a left foot lead. Okay, when he launches, that left foot is the lead step. That way, if you do have an underneath movement, he could stick him in the wall and our guard would have to hug the rumps and get around that right there. If he's upfield, we'll kick it out. Very crucial on this T or wing tight end right here. Quarterback and running back. Quarterback is going to open opposite of the call at 6 o'clock. He cannot cross 6 o'clock. He has got to give the running back the right of way for the downhill track because his aiming point is the B gap or right at the guard, right up his tail. He cannot push that running back off that track. He's going to boot opposite. It's going to marry to zone. The running back is going to step opposite the call. So both the running back and the quarterback are stepping the same way initially. It looks like inside zone out of the pistol. Once again, we were talking about one of the great advantages of the pistol is hiding the running back. By being 3 yards behind the quarterback, he is not seen until, and the track looks the same until he comes your way. So what the linebacker sees is quarterback back opening the same way. He thinks zone, it is a freeze. The running back will transfer his weight. We'll see this on tape. Then he will come back downhill at the B gap. After he receives the ball, he will pick up the last puller and get in his hip, which 95% of the time is the wing tight end. He will get in his hip. If that second puller turns up vertical, he will follow it. If it bounces with a log, he'll stay outside in that hip. Now we'll talk through our rules. Here's the counter gap right here. So right here, quick tackle, first rule, okay, is down, nothing to base, he's high drive. Quick guard, he is down. That's his first rule. No need for base, no need for slam. Center, number 1 backside on the back block. Guard, as we're going to see, is going to pull for daylight. Tackle right here, because there is no C-gap defender to hinge back to, we will let him rake. Okay, there's not a C and a D. If there was a C and a D, he would step hinge, same with the tight end of the D. He now gets to rake. Okay, it's a good look of the play right here. Let's watch the running back step and transfer the weight. Step and transfer the weight right there. So initially, that is opening up like zone right there. That is our back's inside zone footwork. Quarterback's opening to him to help freeze those backers right there. That is looking like zone. Quarterback, very nice, does not cross 6 o'clock. Now the back's at the B gap aiming point right there. Okay, he is picking up the second puller. There's your B gap aiming point, picks up the second puller and able to follow the blocks right there. Nice blow delivery by the quick tackle on the high drive. There's your down, rake. We're not able to get to the second level, but that's fine. To us, that's a 6-man box. He's bonus. His main job is to help that center get back on his back block. There's a nice look against a base 4-3 front with 6 in the box. Nice by the guard, hugging the rumps. He's right off the rumps. There's the timing. We're booting opposite. We'll look at the same front again. Advantage here, we'll look at it from the defensive perspective. Where's the running back at? He's hidden in the pistol. He's 3 yards behind that quarterback. You cannot see him. Whereas if that quarterback is under center, you would be able to see that first step. But when this initially starts, that back steps, they both look, there's that zone step. It looks like inside zone right there. So we're able to hide that back. Now, we have the exact same front we had last time. Our tackle misses the rake, but still doing the same technique. We're down, we're high drive. Nice job by the guard, hugging the rumps. As we talked about earlier, the backer's downhill and fast. We will trap and kick him out. The back's heading at that B-gap track. We'll pick up the second puller and stay tight to him right there. Very good look, but that gives you a nice illustration what this play looks like from the defensive perspective and how that back is hidden. A lot of moving parts right there coming in front of those guys' vision. Now we'll go to an odd front. So let's talk our rules over against the odd front. Quick tackle's got a head up. He'll think base technique. Now what he learns in the odd front, if there's no overhang, chances are the slant's going away. He can still use his high drive technique with this end playing the high drive. Guard here as down. And we have a true nose, so this is what we talked about with the center. He will use slam technique. He will step right foot to the play side. If the nose slants to him, to the play side, him and the guard will capture it. Eyes and second step in the hole and push it to this backside backer here. Pulling guard, nothing changed. Hug the rumps right there. Now the tackle. He's got a C-gap defender, so he will hinge back on the C, tied in on the D. Now we have a 6-man box here, so we actually get an extra blocker on this. So what we feel, if we can win on this double team here, this second puller becomes an extra blocker. And we're going to see in a moment here where it's a 7-man look where they have got to win. But there's that play side step right there. Okay, center goes back, so I second stepper in the hole. Real nice by the center right there. I second step, now the guard ricochets up, second level. He down steps, hips away, he's got to climb right there. Okay, tackle decided still to use his base technique, protect inside out. Guard is hugging the rumps right there. Once again, there's your footwork. Step, transfer the weight, aim at the B gap or the play side guard, pick up that second puller right in his hip there. Very nice. Okay, and he's able to trap out as the extra blocker. He stays tight to the blocking there. Quarterback boots opposite. Now we're going to get the same look, but now we get the 7th defender. Now we've got to trade or bring this across to the B gap launch point. Okay, now this double team has got to win, guys. Coach, so we never tell these two guys whether they're getting the extra guy across here or not. They are always told they have got to win on this. Tackles on and outside, he will use base footwork, step down. There's the B gap launch point right there, able to kick that out right there. If he were to try to cross the face any harder, and we'll get an example of this, we will add this guy to the wall, and then the guard would need to be around it. But there's a good look of a 7-man box with the odd front. So again, center has slam technique. Guard is coming up to the next level right there. Staying tight on that movement right there. Okay, here's another 7-man box. This is a nice look right here of adding to the wall. So now let's go through rules. Quick tackle, now rule says down. That's his first rule. He has down, he has base, he has high drive, down supersedes them all. Same with the quick guard. His first rule is slam. So I'm going to step near forearm, near foot, slam, I second step in the hole, looking to the backside right there. We have got to create movement back to there, to that backer. Center, back. Nothing's changed for him. Guards pulling for rumps. Now, same scenarios we had in the odd front. We got a B to C hinge, a C to D hinge, where we have 2 defenders in those gaps. Quarterback, 7-man box with an outside shade on the quick guard. He has got to bring the motion across. Okay, B gap launch. This is a nice look of adding them to the wall. See the left foot lead right there on the B gap launch. Okay, in comes there. He makes him part of the wall right there. Watch the slam technique. Okay, near foot, near forearm, I second step in the hole. We're able to shove those hips into the A gap. We always want to let that tackle climb to the second level as much as possible. If we can get that done every time. Guard, tight to the rumps. The rumps now come off of the T tight end right here with the down block. He has added him to the wall. Okay, as we said earlier, we get a hard scraper. We will kick that out right there. Quarterback, once again, is going too far on this one. We do not want to cross 6 and push that back out. We want to keep him on the track, but once again, the back picks up that puller, and he knows right now, obviously, when this guy trades across, that the guard is the only puller. So he will pick up that guard. He sees the guard trap out. There he is vertically right there. Once again, the misdirection is great. The back is lost. Advantages of the pistol again. He is getting this ball deep. He is getting it at least 5.5 yards. He's able to set these blocks. His windows are able to open up for him. He's able to see the window open, and stay on it right there following the puller. Little different scheme now. We got a 6-man box, and we want to double a real good player right here. We did not want to back block and rake and leave our guard single blocked here. But that's the advantage of this counter gap, is you're borrowing blockers. We talked earlier, philosophy of the play, borrow blockers, outnumber the defense at the point of attack, bring more than they have there. By borrowing blockers, with our 7th blocker, we are able to double team this player here. Now, by doubling him, okay, we do not want to pull the guard. We've got to be able to get back to there. So now we will base that and pull the tackle. Okay, so tackle has the same rule, tight to the rumps. Now, good look at the second puller here, tight to the rumps. The backer is flowing hard downhill. We will kick that out. Now, great look at the back here. Transferring the weight, receiving the ball, quarterback's at 6, finding the second puller, brings the block to him, enables him to kick it out. Once again, one of the nice advantages of the pistol, he's got this ball deep, coach. He has got it deep. He is able to get that football and set that block up, whereas underneath that quarterback's got to bring that ball back to him. It crowds the blocks. This enables him to bring the blocks to the blockers and open up the window for his vision right there. Very nice look. Different scheme. We still got the high drive by the tackle. Okay, this is a good example. Real good example of I's second step in the hole. So we got a trade. We got the 7-man box again, with an outside technique on the guard. Once again, going over rules, down prevails. Slams his first rule, that prevails. Back, pull, I got 7 in the box, trade, this is a B-gap launch point right here. Left foot lead, very nice blow delivery. Left foot's first, able to kick that out and keep it wide. Good example now of why we got I's second step in the hole. This is great slam technique by this guard. Steps near foot, I's second step in the hole, able to put the slant in there and build the wall. Tackle is down, and that becomes down because that guy runs the gap right there. Okay, we got a B gap run through. Tackle takes that away because he is a B to C hinge. Once again, see the back's footwork, transfers the weight. Okay, picks up the puller. He knows the only puller is going to be this guard with the motion right there. He's able to stay tight. There's actually nobody for the guard to hit right there. He's alert enough to see the filling safety on this. Very nice track by the running back there. Back to our rules again. High drive, down, right there. There's a look at the rake to help the back block right there. So again, when that opens up, it looks like inside zone. Back is getting the ball deep. 5.5, tight to those rumps. Okay, this is a good look at the first puller with an over-aggressive backer downhill. He traps it out. The back is on that B-gap track, right for that guard, able to find his second puller and get in his hip right there. So again, footwork out of the pistol, catch the ball, do not cross 6 o'clock. All right, very unique formation. What you're able to do here now is always bring 2 pullers. You do not have to bring motion across when a team has the 7 in the box with the outside shade on the guard, because you are able to stabilize that with the second tight end. He is, in essence, the guy who traded across earlier and kicked out this end. So we get a 3 technique there, okay? He will take the end. What he's taught, if there's an inside technique, inside the guard, well, the tackle's going to base, the guard's going to down, he just arc releases. He's out of the blocking scheme, and we're back to our original 7 blockers. But if this technique was out in a 3 where we would have had to trade him across earlier, he now takes the end, Tackle and guard, as we know, will slam and down, and now we get an extra puller. So really like this heavy formation. It's a way to buy an extra puller. So again, there's his arc release right there because of the inside technique on the guard. Get a good look at this from the end zone. There's what it looks like right there. Back is hidden. You're at ground level. You are not seeing where that back's coming right there. It looks like inside zone initially. So again, high drive by the tackle, down by the guard. There's your rake in your back. First puller, trap. Second puller gets a trap too. By getting the ball deep in the pistol, you are able to bring the block to the blockers and create the angles right there. As we were talking when we were looking at the wide view, if this technique was outside the guard, which would cause the tackle to down and the guard to slam, this extra tight end would base him up. Therefore, we still do not need to motion, we still get a second puller. So by using what we call our heavy formation out of the pistol, we always guarantee us 2 pullers. Once again, we do not need him in the scheme because we're able to down block and base. We will just release him to any outside pressure right there. So again, nice look at the back, bringing the blocks to the blockers. Heavy formation again. Once again, there's an inside technique right there. So we do not need the tight end here to base on the end heel release. This is the game we wanted to pull the tackle on because we wanted a double. We wanted to create a double. So to us, this was still a 6-man box with 7 blockers. So we did not need him in the scheme, and we were able to create a double right there. Now, we happened into this as a double. Okay, we came off. Remember our golden rule for an offensive lineman, never let color cross your face. Takes that, frees our puller. Once again, let's watch the running back here. He's able to transfer weight, come out there. You cannot see him at ground level, guys. He comes out of it. He's able to find his puller. There's his tight to the second puller. Very nice right there. Aiming point, once again, is play side guard. Downhill and out there. So again, in our heavy formation, we're able to release the extra blocker, or would have been our 8th blocker. Now, we talked about, I hate to pick on one of our players here, but how important is the 6 o'clock, guys? Look what happens here. We push our back off track. Because we all see right there, there's the running lane right there. There's the seal. We would want our back right there with his puller. There it is, guys. The problem is our back can't get downhill to that guard on that track. We've actually pushed him in the C gap, okay, because of the quarterback's footwork. What we would tell that quarterback is screw that left foot in the ground. So when you catch that ball, you pivot off it, land on the right. He didn't have his foot screwed in the ground, and he's pushing the back wide. Very important coaching point on that. Okay, here's an example now with the true bear defense, where we're going to have to back block everybody. So now we do need the 8th blocker in our heavy formation. This is one of our top goal line runs in the pistol. So with the outside technique there, he's going to base the end. His rule says down, his rule says down, center's rule says back. Tackle down, guard down, center back. So we see that example, that blocking scheme right there. Boom. That is a good look at all that happening right there. Guard, look, hugging the rump. He is right off that rump there. There's the rump of the last man in the wall. He is off of it. He's able to come up square right there. Second puller, same thing off the rumps. The back is right with him. This is a power play. Once again, I want to show it to you from this angle. In the pistol, he is hidden right there. We've hidden that back. When he comes out of the mist, he's there with 2 pullers. We will look at the same front from the opposite view, from our backsides, and get a look at the blocking scheme on it. Once again, this is a north-south. This is a downhill power play. This is what the advantage of the pistol is. You got your quarterback back. Okay, you still get the advantages of the shotgun and the passing game, but man, we are still running downhill with physical football here. Okay, where it's not a finesse game, it's not an east-west game, with an offset back, we are downhill. There's everybody blocking back, right there, tight to the rumps, right there with the puller, and we're able to go vertical. So there's that scheme of back, back, and back. Once again, the 8th blocker is needed because of this outside shade. We'll keep him there. Obviously, we won't want to let him come across our face there. As we're talking earlier, this is one of our #1 goal line plays right here. Out of the pistol is our counter gap. So now we're going into what we talked about earlier, where we do not need to bring motion because we have the 8th blocker here. So we got the outside technique. They will slam him down. He will base it. You are guaranteed 2 pullers. So in short yardage, crucial situations, goal line, you are guaranteed 2 pullers on this play. Once again, we do not have to, as in counter tray, kick out this guy with a guard. We're on him right now. Eliminates the short edge. Very nice on the slam right there. Slam, second step, working to the backside backer. The guard hugging the rumps. That is right off the rumps. The same with the T tight end, second puller. There's your B to C gap hinge, C to D gap hinge. Look at the back, stay with his pullers. Now he finds the wall right there. Very, very nice example of the goal line play right there. Look at it again, exact same front. Watch the move, we'll get good movement on this slam right there. Build us a heck of a wall. Heck of a wall getting built. Now, as we have shown earlier, when we motion the cross, that's why this guy has got to step inside foot, because he does not have the advantage of the B-gap launch point. He's actually out leveraged, so he's got to step inside, so if he does get an underneath move, he is able to add it to the wall. The reason you can't do it on the motion, if you motion here, because you're moving this way and it's hard to step back that way or back to the play. But by being stationary, he's able to stay down, put him to the wall, and there's the guard right off the rumps there. Once again, you're guaranteed 2 pullers. This is a very nice slam right here. That's what your slams should look like. Take it right out there to the backside backer right there. Okay, now, tackle should have B-C'd hinge right there. He thought he had B-gap blitz. So that was tough. Tight end, still check down C, but this tackle should have been back out. If you're wondering why he's climbing, he thought the guy was running through. So again, good look at your pullers right there. Same formation, power football. There's downhill, there's 7 yards, guys, 8 yards of first down. What we like about this is your rules will prevail. So right now, my rules say down, mine say slam, mine say back, mine say B to C gap hinge. Now they shift the front here. Mine say down, mine say base, mine say rake. And they move back out again, and then again, back to the original front. Beauty is follow the rules. Slam, down, back. Once again, he knows this technique's outside. I'm basing. I'm just like the guy who traded across. But since I'm not launching B-gap, I got to step inside foot, come inside out. Would like to see this guard now. Right there's his rumps. His guard's a little too wide for my liking right there. He should have been up vertical right there, which would have brought the second puller up into the same cavity. Last look of it right here, guys. Running it out of a 2-back set with the pistol. So yes, we do have a little 2-back in the pistol. He is no different than the tight end we were replacing right there. He's got anything off the edge if there's a 3 technique on this guard right here, which he sees there is, so it's down, slam, he's got the end. The disadvantage of doing it from the backfield set, guys, is your collision can occur behind the line of scrimmage there. Whereas where we had him in the up position earlier, you're on him immediately. I just wanted to show you an example. You can run it out of this set, still keeping your pistol concepts. Okay, inside technique. Tackle uses base because he sees on and outside. So that puts the back off his hip for the kick out. Once again, guard is tight to the rumps. There's your double kick out right there. Good transfer by the quarterback at 6 o'clock. There's your running back heading right for the B-gap, tail of the guard, then able to pick up his second puller. That's a classic example of picking up the second puller. Tackle on the rake, coming across, great effort right there. Great effort. As we tell him when he rakes, climb, anything you can get on the second level is bonus for us right there. In conclusion, the counter gap out of the pistol, here is your power play, guys. You are able to have your quarterback back and get the advantages of the shotgun in the passing game and not lose your downhill toughness, mentality of running downhill by being in the gun, because you still have the back in position to run downhill. And therefore you create the mentality right here. This is a power play, guys. It has been my pleasure to present the counter gap out of the pistol offense to you today. I know this DVD will be very beneficial in the future and help you give a north-south physical running game out of the pistol. Thank you.
This product is copy protect encoded. Attempts to duplicate will damage this product and may damage your recording hardware. Federal law provides severe civil and criminal penalties for the unauthorized reproduction or distribution of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, and video discs. Criminal copyright infringement is investigated by the FBI and may constitute a felony with a maximum penalty of up to 5 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. All drills and exercises in this program are designed to develop fundamental skills. It is extremely important as an athlete or coach that you execute them with proper technique in order to avoid possible injury. To reduce the risk of possible injury, consult your doctor before beginning any exercise or skill development program. The producers, participants, and distributors of this program disclaim any liabilities or loss in connection with the information presented in this product.
Championship Productions, the #1 source for quality coaching instruction, brings you the biggest and best football instructional library in the world. Get the latest innovations in the game from America's top coaches. Learn hundreds of drills, techniques, and strategies to improve your coaching and take your team to the next level. High-octane offenses, aggressive, stingy defenses, skill development for every position, coaching strategies for practice and program development. Your championship season starts now at ChampionshipProductions.com. Championship Productions, the #1 source for quality coaching instruction, brings you the biggest and best football instructional library in the world. Get the latest innovations in the game from America's top coaches. Learn hundreds of drills, techniques, and strategies to improve your coaching and take your team to the next level. High-octane offenses, aggressive, stingy defenses, skill development for every position, coaching strategies for practice and program development. Your championship season starts now at ChampionshipProductions.com.